Recognizing the higher risks of rural roadways, the Alabama Department of Transportation, in partnership with the Federal Highway Administration, utilizes a portion of the Highway Safety Improvement Program to fund a high-risk rural road safety program. To learn more about the HRRR program, join me, James Boyer, Josh Harville, and DeAndre Kimbrough as we talk about the program.
Hello, I'm DeAndre Kimbrough. Next to me is James Boyer, and across the table is Josh Harville. We're here to talk about high-risk rural roads and the application process. James, if you could start us off and give us a little information on high-risk rural roads.
Well, the HRRR program is what we call it. There's a HRRR special funding rule that when your crash rate on rural roads hits a certain level, FHWA, we have to obligate certain HSIP money to the high-risk rural road program. So we had a fiscal year 2019 was the first time we had that, and first time that rule kicked into effect in a while. And then we've also learned that we're going to have it in fiscal year 2020.
What can you tell us about the application process?
Well, first we've got the high-risk rural roads application guidance that's on our website, on the ALDAT website under the Local Transportation Bureau page, and that's got everything in there that we'll talk about. It goes into pretty good detail of what an application should include and kind of what we're looking for. Well, first, the application, we've got 3 different areas of HRRR projects that we're kind of looking at. It's general safety projects. Those can include many different things from shoulder widening to super elevation corrections to clearing trees to increase the clear zone. Covers a wide range of projects. We've got the traffic control device group of projects. It's pavement markers, raised pavement markers, signage, striping. And then the third one we have is an area we wanted to focus on, which was unshielded bridge ends. We realized that a lot of the counties, rural counties especially, have structures that have guardrail up, bridge rail up, but do not have end treatments on them. We wanted to go ahead and target those to get an up-to-date end treatment on those. So the application process, you can apply the criteria. First off, it has to be a major collector, minor collector, or a local road, and it can't be inside an urbanized boundary as defined by the U.S. Census, the last U.S. Census.
Can you give us an example of 2019 application that was approved for a general safety project?
The main majority of the crashes we've seen were in curves, and we've had everything from a super elevation correction on a roadway where the super elevation when the roadway was designed was not up to standard, so they realized that was the issue, and they'd come in and correct the super elevation on it, as well as put widening some shoulders. We've seen that as well, where they come in and you just widen the shoulder on a curve, and then clearing also. We've had a couple projects where the safeties, they realized the safety clear zone inside of the curve was not adequate, so they did come in and they were going to remove some trees and some brush to kind of widen that out.
One of the things that he and I get from our peers is that they have a hard time providing the maintenance needed as far as centerline stripe, edge stripe, that we all realize are good safety applications on our rural roads. And the traffic control device project application is perfect for those counties. But the challenge seems to always be is making sure that the application they're proposing with the striping matches the guidelines that have been set up for us, for ALDOT through FHWA, as far as the guidelines we have to meet to get a successful project.
The traffic control device group of projects is much needed in the county, on the county road system. But what we don't want, what was not allowed, is safety money is not allowed to be spent on maintenance projects. The key to me on these is that it's data driven. What we don't want, in the biggest thing as far as projects, applications that we got that were denied, that were where a county would come in or an agency would come in and say, hey, I've got these 10 roads and these are my worst stripes that I've got. I want to get these restriped. And that's pretty much all that was said. They didn't have the crash data to back up the need of the justification, and they were doing it. The roads they picked were based more on the condition of the stripe than the actual the crash data that was there. So yeah, as long as it's data driven, as long as you can provide a need, and like I said earlier, we're not looking for 15 crashes. We're looking for 1 to 2 to 10 crashes in an area that shows that there's a need, and that hey, if we can go in and put raised pavement markers on the outside, restripe the center line, and put raised pavement markers, put new signs up, then absolutely we've been able to do that.
So, being in a rural county, how could we get kind of creative with this? I like the idea of widened shoulders, putting rumble strips on shoulders, but if my roadway is probably going to be in worse condition than the shoulders, then we have to be creative. We either have to join it with another project. Is that possible? Or maybe plan for a future project once we've done the primarily, the cause of crashes, whether it's road conditions or, like you said, it could be site improvement on the roadway. So is that a possibility?
HRRR won't pay. It'll pay for some minor leveling. That's something else. But as far as just resurfacing a roadway, it will not pay for that. But what counties have done is they've come in and they've either used their own the existing county funds or some type of federal aid money as well. And you can absolutely combine HRRR money or an HRRR project with other type of federal money or county money. And there's ways we'll just on the plans we have to list them separate on the plans as far as quantity is concerned. That way we just we make sure what we're spending the HRRR money on versus what we're spending the other funding source on. But that's not an issue at all as far as trying to pull your money together to get the best bang for your buck there.
Okay. All right.
You see any applications utilizing Force Account?
So you can accomplish HRRR projects in 3 ways. You can use the normal through state services as far as getting letting it through state services and utilizing that tool. You can use Force Account work, and a lot of the bridge ends, unshielded bridge ends, are using Force Account, and you also can use in-place bids as well. Okay. So if I know a lot of counties have a striping or a guardrail contract set up, you can use those as well to come in and say, all right, I'm going to use my unshielded bridge end, my guardrail contract to come in and do that, or my striping contractor can come in and do that as well. So this past year we had a few that the first criteria is being on a major collector, minor collector, a local road, and outside of the urbanized boundary. We had a few that were actually inside the urbanized boundary, so they were not eligible. So once you meet that initial criteria of the roadway classification and being outside of the urbanized boundary, the next thing that we saw was just kind of like we talked about, a maintenance project where they didn't have the data or they didn't have the numbers to show that there was an issue on that road. They just said, hey, the condition of my road, my stripe is not good. Right. We want to fix it. And we said, okay, well, why do you want to fix that? Are you having an issue here? And there really wasn't anything to back that up. They didn't provide anything. So, once you meet the initial criteria, and then making sure that you've got some type of evidence, data-driven evidence that you have an issue. Other than that, there is a few on the applications. We did tweak the countermeasure that they requested a lot of times, and I think they were very open to that. Where the application came in, they showed that there was an issue, and they said they were going to use this type of countermeasure. Right. But we said, for this type of crashes you're having, the this may be a better option as far as a countermeasure is concerned. If it's a roadway departure and they wanted a certain type of countermeasure, we said, actually, if you look at it, this countermeasure is more effective fixing that. So we have adjusted a few applications and the design of it, which of course we got the approval. Talked with the agency and the county to do that. But as far as projects just not being eligible, you got to meet the initial criteria, and then again, I can't stress that the maintenance, you got to be kind of data driven and have a show a need and stay away from just a maintenance driven project.
So, do you think it's possible that the data was there and the counties just didn't know how to retrieve it?
If there's an issue on your roadway, how do you gather that information and kind of and display that? We got some applications that would just give us the entire crash reports for that node or that link.
Right.
And then we had some that would, to me, the best way to do it is you can provide that raw data, but summarize it for us as well, because we all know that crash report can be kind of tedious to look through. But if you go through and you summarize it, saying, all right, in this section of roadway, I had this many crashes for these type of reasons, that goes a long way. And also just what I've been trying to push out there too is the care portal that's recently come online. The care portal is an excellent way to go in, and you can really tailor and be specific on what you're looking for as far as pulling data, reasons why as well. It doesn't just tell you, hey, I had five crashes on this road. These are the reasons why those crash happened. You can go in and look at the actual diagram from the safety officer there. So that's a great point. I think a lot of times the counties know that there's an issue on the road. They see evidence of crashes, but they don't have the data to back that up. And also in that, we've told them, hey, if your roadway shows, if you can pull a report that shows you got 2 crashes on this roadway, but you have evidence that there's been, a lot more crashes just from things being hit, car parts laying out there, evidence of actual crashes, by all means, put that in your application, because we understand that happens. And the more evidence, the more reason that you have the more reasons we had to say yes in that application, the better.
Okay, good.
How many applications we get last year?
We had 32 counties submit applications, and we got 36 applications. So that's another good question. You can, as a county or an agency, you can submit multiple applications. Absolutely. You can submit an application for each of the 3 different categories: the general safety, the traffic control, or the unshielded bridge end. So you can submit an application for each of those. And then you can also, a lot of times what a county would do is, in which worked out really well, is they may have multiple sites as well. And while we may not be able to fund all of those sites, but if in your application you list your sites in priority, list them separately, your sites, and list them in priority, and we'll be able, we'll try to fund as many as we can, especially with unshielded bridge ends. I know we had a county that sent us an application in that had a curve, a section of roadway that they wanted to address. And they said, all right, this is option A, where this is how much it would cost to fix this curve. But ideally, we'd be able to fix another curve down the road as well and make that stretch of road really safe. So this is option B, and it was a great project. So we went ahead and were able to fund A and B. But the county went through, gave us a cost estimate for each, and prioritized which one they wanted first. So we had 32 counties, I think, submit around 36 applications. So they're our goal is to have every county submit an application. There's money to be spent, and there's needs out there that we definitely want to get addressed. So the idea is just to we want more counties to submit to identify those problems. So.
I know the local match is 10%. Is there a maximum amount per project, or?
So this is safety money, so it's a 90-10 split. So 90% federal and 10% local match. We tell people that in the guidance, we've set a soft cap of $100,000 per project. But I always tell people, don't let that soft cap be a deterrent if you have a good project. If you have a project, and you have an issue on your roadway and you have a worthy project, submit it and let us make the determination whether that we can fund that or not. Don't be deterred by that soft $100,000 cap, because this last year there were some projects that were absolutely had a need. They did a great job in the application conveying that need. As far as having the crash reports and the evidence there. And it was well over the $100,000 cap, and we had no problem funding that just because it was a worthwhile project that we know that would make the road safer. So we say 100,000 soft cap, and that's more just if we have to make sure everybody gets a fair share of the money. Get it spread out and take care of issues throughout the state, but don't let that soft cap be a deterrent from submitting a worthwhile project.
And there are only a couple of items that we were restricted from, and that was what utility improvements and right-of-way acquisition.
Right of way, just because of the time constraints on the money. Right of way, any project that is going to acquire right of way, we tend to not take into consideration, and then utility relocations as well. That the utility relocations we can do. But we'd like to stay away from force account work with utility relocations. That we said, hey, if we're going to do any type of utility relocation, it needs to be a state services, a project led through state services, and it also needs to be, a minor utility relocation, because this money, the HRRR money, does have a limitation and a time frame when it has to be authorized by the end of within that same fiscal year. So ideally, the applications deadline is August 1st, and how we kind of go through it is we get the applications in. There's a committee that sits down and reviews the applications, and once we go through and first say, all right, they've met the initial criteria, and then two, then we kind of review all the applications and prioritize them, and we want to get out let all the agencies know around October 1st of that year that you've had a project awarded. That way you'll have time to get everything set up, because like I said, this HRRR money has to be awarded within that same fiscal year. So utility relocations, minor, and right-of-way acquisition is usually not considered, just because of the time frame that it takes to do that.
And you are the chief contact, right, for counties that have questions as they put their applications together. If they're having trouble with care, or what is a crash modification factor or reduction factor, or
absolutely, yeah. So
I can point them in the right direction.
Absolutely, yeah. If I'm the contact, and if you have any questions about what's eligible, what type of projects we've received in the past, what type of projects compete well, I'm more than happy to go over with any county if they have an idea for a project, to call me up and discuss, to say, hey, absolutely, that type of project is exactly what we're looking for, or now maybe that's not what we're looking for, but if you do it from this angle, it'd be more competitive. And then also, just any questions in general on what is required in your application as well. Again, the high risk rural roads application guidance is available on our website under the on the ALDOT website, the local transportation bureau page, and that goes through just about everything we talked about, and it really steps through what is required in an application. But again, if you have any questions, if county has any questions on that, call me, and I'm more than happy. Another great resource also is the safety improvements for high risk rural roads. This book here it's organized by countermeasure. So if you're looking for a specific countermeasure, you can go in there and look for it. And it also has all the data that you were talking about that we would like to see in our applications, the crash modification factor, the benefit cost ratio, all that kind of stuff is in here, and you can absolutely use that to look that up. And while those all that data is nice to have, and it helps us kind of sort things out, it's definitely not the bottom line as far as how we determine. We definitely don't determine which projects are. We don't prioritize projects based strictly on these numbers. We definitely look at the whole picture and the need, the countermeasure that they're requesting. We take all that into account. So.
Well, I'd like to say, on behalf of Chambers County, and I'm sure all the counties across the state, especially us rural ones like DeAndre and I are in, that we really appreciate the opportunity. ALDOT, FHWA, Auburn University, all of our partners that are working together with this to provide this program to us. We really appreciate it. We have a hard time back home doing small projects or performing small projects with a specific purpose of a curve or a slow shoulder or a sign project. The money's not there. Most of the time, the requests we get are related to why are we not resurfacing? Why are we not improving the condition of our roads? That's
Right.
the 90% of the requests we get from the public. So this gives us an opportunity to have that discussion with both our public, the constituents from our commissioners and our commissioners.
Right.
Get that in the media and inform them of why we need to do safety projects and try to reduce crashes across rural roads and in our counties. So we appreciate it. Thank you, James, for all the work you've put into it. We know you've had some challenging applications. You've said you've got some good ones. Hopefully through this video you'll get more good ones than challenges moving forward.
Absolutely. No, I think the project or the this program is, I think it's great. Like you said, most of the time in the counties, in the especially the rural counties, you don't have an opportunity to really focus on safety. You're kind of being more reactive to a lot of things, and
Correct.
and I think this HRRR program is a great way to kind of go and really look at the roads and pinpoint, make them safer, not just
Right.
A lot of times the public, they don't know what's not safe until it's too late.
Right.
Like they don't see what's unsafe till it's too late, and this program really can focus on that, it's a great opportunity for the counties to get that type of money. We just need to get some good applications, and some good needs out there.
Don't be discouraged by the application.
That's right.
Put one in.
Absolutely. I know. Hey, I understand it is a process to go through and get the application in, get it together. But if you spend the time to do that, and this past year, we had very few applications that were submitted that were not accepted and did not get some money. So the chances are very good that if you send a good application in, that you will get rewarded and get money, get some HRRR money to take care of some issues. So.
Well, it sounds good. I mean,
Sounds
when
good.
a commissioner or when you can go to the commission and present a competitive grant that your county has acquired through an application submitted on a program such as this, that's good PR for your county. It's obviously a good program. So,
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys sitting down and like I said, hopefully this video will definitely inspire some counties and other agencies to go ahead and submit applications.
All right. Sounds great.